Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel of Jupiter. Happy vacation. We're on part 4 now, and we're finally going to go to the Parasite 5 party. I'm so excited. I didn't get to read this. Let's see, I had D&D on Friday. It's Sunday night, and I haven't got to read it till now. I actually forgot about the Parasite party, but the weekend was just so busy. I didn't have time to think about recording. I did think about editing though, so I got something edited finally, even though my internet is out. Luckily that doesn't affect recording or editing. I don't need the internet for any of that, so I can still enjoy Jupiter even though internet out sucks a lot. Especially for the whole weekend. Geez, like I think the internet went out Saturday, and I was going to play games with my husband all weekend, and I can't because it's out. I'm so upset. My daughter also downloaded Enshrouded, and she was going to play with us too, and it's like, well, you can't. The internet's out, so whatever. Luckily, though, I got the video copied over to my phone. I was able to upload it through my phone, even though it took like an hour, but whatever, it's fine. I feel like I'm going to just like binge read the rest of Jupiter because I really want to do the bloopers. Like I'm really looking forward to the bloopers. So I feel like I'm going to binge read it. There's only 2 more choices left, but the last time there was 2 more choices left. Like, yeah, Raoul's route was 2.5 hours long. So I don't think it's going. I'm not going unless there's not a CG. If there's not a CG, I want to keep going. But if there's a CG, I'm not going to make it 2.5 hours long. There's just no way. It's just too long. The editing is miserable and I don't like it. So, and December 31st finally arrived. We went to Raoul's place. Everyone else was already there.
いらっしゃい
You got a couple of gods in your home. What does everyone think about this? Thanks for the invite.
邪魔するぞ。これで久々にパラサイト6集合だな。
Oh man, when that screen turned purple, I was like, what was this? Alan. I don't remember if they did the colors in the old game or not, but oh my goodness, I cannot wait for Alan. I can't wait. I think I need to turn up my gain a little bit. My voice was a little bit soft during the last edit, and everyone else was really loud, so I'm trying to get it balanced so we're the same volume. I'll keep an eye on it, I guess, during this.
よかった。ちょうど料理ができたところなんだ。ほら、座って。
久しぶりだな。名前はジュピター神とジュノー神でよかったか。
It's like, what is your name? I know, well, I mean, you can call her Lynette, but that's really cute that he's trying to call them by their god names.
いや、この姿の時はピーターで構わない。
Yes, please call me Lynette too. Long time no see, everyone.
久しぶり。ケーサインくんも来られてよかった。返事が来ないからハラハラしちゃってたよ。別に店や流通も年末で止まってやることなかっただけだから。あ、そういえばケーサインくん、今日誕生日なんだよね。おめでとう。
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm like, what is December 31st? I was like, it was important in one of the other routes. I forgot it was Riki's birthday.
なんで知ってるの？君のお姉さんが言ってたよ。だからシリウッド俳優ならみんな知ってるんじゃないかな。はあ、姉さん。
That's all he said. Okay.
ケーサインくん誕生日だったんだ。どうしよう、このケーキバースデーケーキに変える？別にそのままでいい。そんな太りそうなケーキ一口しか食べたくないし。
I'm only gonna have one bite of that cake.
一口は食べてくれるんだね。よかった。
I actually really miss Ryuki's voice.
相変わらずだな、パラサイト5は。
I also miss Shelby's voice too. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's been forever. I think it has been like 5 months since Ryuki. Even though I didn't get the chance to comment, I laughed as I remembered the time we spent together. Nothing had changed. This feels so nostalgic.
ああ、確かにそうだな。
I know, he doesn't sound like his usual self. He's like, you can hear the nostalgia in his voice as well. Humans were incredible beings that deserved our protection. As we watched them, I heard Rao gasp as he put his hand over his mouth.
というか、なんか二人の雰囲気が変わってる。もしかしてジュピター成功したんだね。
I had to not say anything when I saw that last line. Jupiter, did you score? Does he look that different? He probably does. Score?
いや、それは。
やっぱりそうなんだ。で、ジュノー神どうだった？ジュピターってやっぱゼウスと双子だし、やっぱりゼウスぐらいよ。
I'm like, is he really talking about this?
いった。何？俺なんで頭叩かれたの？
Did Jupiter slap you? I hope he did. Oh.
ああ、ごめん。ハエが止まってたんだよ。
Of course it was Owlet. It's really funny. I'm sorry, Owlet. I know she was your angel. She was your angel in heaven. And now now he's gotta watch her be married to a god. Oh, he despised gods too. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. This must be hard on him. He went through his whole route hating the gods, like despising them, and now she's married to one. I was helping.
ハエか。それは仕方ないね。
I got so focused on him being smacked, like I didn't get to comment on what he said. He's asking her how was it.
すまないアラン。だが正直助かった。
Saved me.
どういたしまして。
What was that about? Why are you clueless? How do you not know? I wondered if they were referring to the training, but I didn't understand how that had anything to do with Zeus. Alan knows what you don't. She's so naive. Wait. Come to think of it, when Peter returned home with that book, it was right after he'd visited Ral. Then that would mean...
チキン焼けたよ。
The chicken's ready! Y'all entered the room holding a big dish.
へえ、鶏の丸焼きか。いいね。
Blasted up chicken. What did he say in Japanese?
へえ、鶏の丸焼きか。いいね。
I am unfamiliar with what that is.
もうちょっとおしゃれに言ってよ。ローストチキンです。
Roast chicken.
はあ、ずっとオーブン使ってるなって思ったけど、これ焼いてたんだ。
Lynette over here is still being awkward.
ちょうど水泳してきたところだから助かる。良質なタンパク質は筋肉を作るのに役立つからな。
Why did it sound like that he said that you saved me in Japanese?
は？この雪が降る寒い日に泳いできたの？冷えは美容の大敵だよ。
Ah, Ryuki, I've missed you.
問題ない。温水プールだ。
He looks so confident. With all the chatter, I'd been unable to process what Rao had said earlier. It was comforting to hear the usual conversations.
じゃあシャンパン開けるよ。
Huh? Peter didn't even flinch the last time we popped a bottle of champagne. It probably depended on whether or not he popped the bottle himself. That yelp made me feel nostalgic. I couldn't help but laugh. I was happy to see that some things had changed while others had remained the same. That marked the start of our year-end party. Aw, is it only going to be 10 minutes? Okay, good. 8 hours later. Before I knew it, everyone was wasted.
飲めない。君がいないと飲めないよ。
Oh my goodness.
ああ。止めた。
ねえねえ、美味しい。このワインすっごく美味しいよ。
He doesn't sound too bad off.
なるほど。本日のマカロニはふかふかクッションというわけだな。
He's definitely drunk. Wow, this shirt brings me back. I know there was a what? Oh yeah, I think they got drunk on the Parasite house show too. The sight of everyone drunk out of their minds reminded me of the party we held at the Parasite house.
はあ、酔っ払いってほんとうざい。トイムズスクエアの花火を見に行くんじゃなかったの？
Where Ryuki's underaged.
もちろんだ。花火はガーリックだからな。それにケサイインのお祝いもまだ足りない。
I'm sorry. I couldn't not laugh during that. You're so funny when you're drunk, Shelby. Oh my goodness. He's so passionate. The little giggle just set me off.
そう、ガーリックピザ作ったら空の上でお花が咲くんだよ。おめでたいケイサインくんの誕生日にぴったり。
おめでとう。ああ、ごめん、水もらえる。
At least he's not strange when he's drunk.
ああ、炭酸水が冷蔵庫にあるよ。それとケイサインくんへのプレゼントも。アンブロシアの賞味期限は100年後です。
はあ、どう見ても無理じゃん。ああ、もう行かないなら僕は寝るからね。飲みすぎは顔むくむし、あんたたちも早く寝なよ。
How do you know that drinking makes your face swell? You shouldn't be drinking.
まあ、誕生日を祝ってくれたのは嬉しいけどさ。
Aww,
ありがとう。
he's so cute. This could easily be, what, his 21st birthday? I think he was 19 in the game. She's been Juno for a year, so this could be his 21st birthday. He just shows up to drink anyway. Oh, I'm like sitting here trying to figure out how old he is. And it says Ryuki, though Ryuki was legally allowed to drink. He preferred not to. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, it's like plastered on the screen. He mumbled to himself before heading to the bedroom. Everyone else continued to chug alcohol. They drank, passed out for a bit, made some commotion, then fell asleep again. It was the same back then, and Peter also.
チーチーチーチー。
But Gus don't get drunk, so what's wrong with him? Just like before, he clung to me while cooing like Chi. But I thought that gods don't get drunk. He was laying on the sofa with his head on my lap and purring like a cat. Oh, come on.
チーチー。
I guess Jupiter gets drunk. I don't know. Maybe he had chocolate. As I stroked his hair, it looked like Peter wanted to play. He transformed into Chi for the first time in ages.
わあ、今の見た？ピーターが消えちゃった。
I was wondering if they knew about this form.
ああ、いや、
Oh, Alan
そ
knows
こにい
though.
るな。彼女の膝の上で真珠姿になってるよ。
Yeah, Alan was a teacher in Peter's last route, and he tried to seduce Lynette. And Chi defended her.
彼女の膝の上。いいな。俺も寝てくる。カフカのベッドで。あ、何？彼女のいいな。
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry.
膝にはコンドロイチンがいいはずだ。いや、味噌連絡だったか。地玉か。
Did he fall asleep? I hear him snoring. I was gonna say, yeah, Gil, just go to bed. Like, just go to bed.
飲みすぎて起きてるのしんどいな。 俺もちょっと横になってくるよ。
Everyone headed to a different bedroom to hit the hay. How many bedrooms does Raw have? Raw's home always had enough beds for everyone. Oh, there you go, I guess. When we were ready to sleep, a bed was available for us too. But the New Year's hasn't even started. We partied so early that everyone got drunk and fell asleep before the New Year countdown. Chi looks like he's sleeping soundly too.
Chi?
Or not. Chi was in high spirits. He nipped at my finger while wagging his tail. I like him in this form too. He was so fluffy and cute, I couldn't resist petting his fur. I was playing with Chi when a noise came from outside the window caught my attention.
Chi?
Is he going to be scared of it? Oh. Chi, who had been asleep on my lap, abruptly woke up and transformed back into Peter. His eyes were sparkling as he looked out the window.
これはすごいぞリネット。見てみてくれ。
I turned my attention to the window and spotted fireworks lighting up the sky. Aww. Wow, the new year has arrived. You can see the celebratory fireworks from the window. These were the fireworks we planned to see at Times Square. Toyimes? Is that what it's supposed to say? Because there was no tall buildings around Rao's home, we had a clear view of the display. Peter and I stood side by side watching and listening to the colorful fireworks. It's beautiful.
Oh.
We were both speechless, completely captivated by the beauty of the fireworks against the night sky. I reached out to touch the glass and Peter placed his hand over mine. I looked up at him and he was smiling with genuine joy. Though he'd been a tipsy Chi just a short while ago, he sobered up. As a god, he had a high tolerance for alcohol.
リネット。ハッピーニューイヤー。
Happy New Year, Peter. We turned to ensure that no one outside was watching as we shed a quick sweet kiss outside. What about the people inside? No one saw that, right? We exchanged a glance before sharing a laugh. I wanted to kiss him as soon as the new year had arrived. Our kiss in front of the backdrop of fireworks filled us with a feeling of bliss. We spent a month here, but it felt like a lifetime. I believe we enjoyed ourselves to the fullest. Hey, Peter.
Ah.
Peter nodded as if he'd already anticipated my next words.
もう少ししたらそろそろ深海に帰るとしようか。
Yeah, when do you want to go back?
そうだな。せっかくだからもう少しだけ遊んでは行きたいが。
Me too. You've been trading all this time. Let's do something fun. We're here on our honeymoon after all.
ハネムーン。は、そうだった。それなのに私が雷などを落としたから。
No, that was the training. The training was why you're here so long. You wanted to go on your honeymoon before all that.
すまない。仕切り直させてくれ。ハネムーンも結婚式も。
Oh, are we going to have a ceremony? Wedding ceremony?
ああ、お前とは結婚式を挙げられていないだろう。だからしたいと思っていたのだ。
I feel like we're going to get a wedding CG in this one too. I'd assumed we'd already married when I became Juno, so we hadn't taken part in a ceremony that was part of human marriage. Despite being the goddess of marriage, I'd never experienced a wedding ceremony myself. Then how about we stay here until Easter? Easter, that's a long time. With that amount of time, we should be able to prepare a wedding ceremony.
イースターか。確かに気候もいいだろうし、結婚式にはちょうど良いかもしれないな。
Did he really stay away from Celestia's throne for that long? Exactly. Until then, let's enjoy the human realm to our heart's content and we'll make some memories, then return to Celestia.
ああ、そうだな。イースターの頃まで。それまで私はピーターでいよう。
Yeah, then I'll be Lynette.
ああ、そうしよう。リネット。
Peter cheerfully called me by my name, not Juno or Cupid, but by my name. Was it strange to consider this name precious to me, even though my new name was Juno? Even Mom and Dad were addressed by their divine names, Venus and Mars. This was typical for members of the 12 Olympians. but I'd gotten used to calling him Peter instead of Jupiter. The 400 years I spent being Cupid and the few years I've been Juno felt like nothing compared to the time here in the human realm. But I liked the human realm and our human forms. That was why I called him by his human name. I can't wait for our wedding ceremony, Peter.
ああ、私もだ。きっといい式にしよう。
The night sky on the New Year's Eve was lit up by a multitude of fireworks. The celebrations outside stood in contrast to the peaceful sleep of everyone inside. Oh, I guess they all went to sleep. That's why they're not worried about anyone. We gazed into the night sky, holding each other close. We decided to extend our stay in the human realm until Easter. Once we'd made that commitment, we began our wedding preparations. Naturally, we chose Cupid Corp as our wedding venue, and I decided to wear my divine artifact as my wedding dress. Oh my goodness. By the time we finished all the prep, 3 months had flown by. All that remained was the anticipation of our special day. We wanted to cherish our last moments in the human realm, but what? Oh no.
もう3月なのに、どうしてこんなに寒いのだ?
I was gonna say, there's gotta be some kind of conflict because now that things are resolved, we're in the last part of the route, so something bizarre is gonna happen, I just know it. Nothing really bizarre happened in Ryuki's route. Shelby had Omar. They had a casino match, which wasn't too strange, I guess. The strange thing was in the route, it was in the endings. But Gil made Iron Man and she got kidnapped. Raoul stopped the lobster infestation and had to deal with Omar. What is Jupiter's going to be? We intended to visit Demore Paradise, but a blizzard had taken over, so we were confined to our hotel room. Doesn't look like it. It looks like you're outside. Demore Paradise was an artificial island newly constructed off the shores of Lost York. The only way to reach the island was via ferry. That was also the only way to leave. Yet, due to the blizzard, the ferry was stuck at the port. The hotel staff had prepared rooms for all stranded visitors. We couldn't get a reservation here last time, so at least we got to stay here now. It's really unusual for it to be snowing this time of year.
明らかに異常気象だ。チックシュ
That was really cute. Are you okay?
すっかり体が冷えてしまったな。急いで部屋に行くとしよう。
I mean, you guys could just ascend at any time, right? Like, if you're going to be stranded and you don't want to be, you could just go to Celestia until it's done, right? Yes, you're right. It'd been warm earlier that day, so we both dressed lightly to our dismay. We hurried to our hotel room and took a hot bath to warm up. After that, we settled down on the couch.
あったかい。凍るかと思ったぞ。
It's strange, isn't it? It's March, but it feels more like December. We huddled under a blanket and checked the weather forecast on our smartphones. Snow was predicted for the next several days. I thought Lost York was warm all year round.
ああ、だから妙なんだ。一応私の方でも天候を探ってはいるのだが、原因が一向にわからない。他の神が天候を操っている気配もない。悪魔が動いている様子もない。一体なぜなのか。
We scrolled through the academic articles on YouTube videos hoping for some answers. One video in particular caught our attention. It was titled Arrival of the Mini Ice Age Get Winter Gear. Zeus the Serial Cheater New Research Announcement. Love teacher, never gonna give you up. Okay.
プチ氷河期
What's that about? Curious, I clicked on the video. It featured a guy wearing a hoodie with birds on it.
おしどり目指してラブフライ恋も愛もスパイスオブライフあなたに届けこの思い恋愛系要求バーのラブバースです
今日はロサンヨークで人気の占い師メレニス・レビン氏に来てもらったよ。
Oh my goodness.
はじめまして。占い師のメレニス・レビンです。
普段メディアに姿を現さない占い師メレニスが特別にうちのチャンネルに遊びに来てくれたのは、なんと大変な運命が見えたっていうからなんだ。ということでメレニス、どういう運命が見えたのか教えてもらっていいかな。
ええ。最近ロサンヨークで雪が続いているのはお住まいの方々は皆さんご存知だと思いますが、これから先ボルトモア、ワラントン、クランチキャニオン、ナスペナスでも大雪が降る未来が見えました。それだけではありません。海外からはるばる私のもとへ占ってもらいに来た人々からも雪の降る未来が見えました。南半球でも北半球でも吹雪の運命が見えました。つまりこれは氷河期の訪れを示唆しているのです。Right?
Right. I actually forgot about that. You had to remind me.
それはえらい大変な運命だな。で、俺たちはどうすればいいんだ？
世界はいつか大きく変わるでしょう。ですが恐れることはありません。すべては運命のままに、神々の選択が未来を作りますから。
というわけで、この寒さはまだまだ続くっていうのが占いの結果らしいんだ。なので今日は寒さにぴったりのアイテム、カップル用毛布を紹介していくよ。ぜひラブラブな熱で雪を溶かしていこう。
I was gonna say, I wonder who he looked at to see that fortune. Maybe, I don't know. I guess he could have looked at anyone. Anyone coming from the warmer states or whatever and experiencing snow. The video then turned into an ad for couples blankets and matching pajamas, but we were more concerned with something Marinese had said.
神々の選択が未来を作るか。
I know. How are you guys going to shape fate? It was probably the case that Marinese was only saying things meant to be ambiguous, yet it felt as if the words were directed at us. It was as if he was asking us to do something about it. Do you think this is our responsibility?
そうだな。というより私の責任だ。
Peter looked a bit depressed as he buried his face into his cushion.
太陽の熱を地表に届けるためになるべく晴れにするようにはしているのだが、どうしても寒さが和らがぬ。水不足になってはならぬと雨を降らそうとすればすべて雪になる。そして一度雪が降るともう私には手がつけられないのだ。おかげで今日も雪に降られてしまった。主神ジュピターの名が聞いて呆れる。
Oh, the other 12 Olympians can control the weather a bit, right?
ああ、そうだな。特にミネルヴァは嵐を起こすのが得意だ。だが十二神がやっているとは思えぬ。神が力を使い天候を変えたとしたら、私も他の神も気づくはずだからな。
Right. But I feel like during like Rao's old route, there was a time where Jupiter couldn't sense anything. It couldn't sense one of the artifacts. I don't know if it was Cupid's or if it was Minerva or something. He was oblivious to something, which could be the same in this one. Now that I was Juno, I could sense it too. Whenever the gods use their divine powers, I could sense it. Just recently, I sensed that Poseidon had saved a beached orca.
先日、新しく就任したプルートからも、やけに冥界が冷えるという便りが届いた。 だがやはり同じく原因は不明だという話だ。
There was a new Pluto because Zeus had eaten the last one. Like me, he'd been chosen from among the other gods. The current Pluto had been chosen from among the new Cupid, so we knew he'd be compassionate towards the dead. I see, so even the underworld is cold right now.
ああ、冥界だけではない。悪魔界も随分と冷えているそうだ。
Peter showed me a message from Professor Melville, who'd recently taken over as Satan, leader of hell. Oh, really? Is this going to be the case in Alan's route? Probably not. Because they're different routes, probably not. But that would be interesting, wouldn't it? I think at the end of Alan's route, he just chose to stay, I think a demon just in human form. And she just chose to stay a human. Obviously, well, she lost her Cupid powers, so she was forced to be a human. It was only, like, the alternate endings where she became a succubus. I'm pretty sure in, like, the good ending, she just ran the store with him. Actually, no, I think she did have some kind of powers in that route, too. She just didn't have the twisted, scary succubus outfit that she did in the other one. If she has demonic powers in that one, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. But if she has demonic powers in that one, maybe he does become Satan. That would be cool. It's too cold. Might hibernate. That was the message he sent. Might hibernate. Do you hibernate?
動くと体力を使うからな。以前あった氷河期の頃も冬眠していたはずだ。
The last ice age? That must have been around 10,000 years ago. I suppose the gods had already existed in that time. It'd been so long since the last ice age that this problem seemed like a huge deal. I wondered if the snow would continue forever. Would it feel normal someday? That was what I thought as I stared out the window. It continued to snow with no signs of it letting up. If anything, the snow appeared to be getting more intense. Lost York was in a region with temperate climate. Houses weren't designed for such severe weather, so the cold was especially tough.
サタンが冬眠するかもしれないというほどだ。よほど地下は冷えているのだろう。行って確認した方が良いかもしれぬな。
Yeah, but he can't stay down there for long, right? I'm pretty sure Jupiter tried to go down there before and he just couldn't stay. Go where? To hell?
ああ、悪魔界は人間界よりも冥界よりもはるか下にある。行って確かめねばならぬ原因が地下にあるのか。だが、私は悪魔たちに憎まれている。襲われないと良いのだが。
You sound so concerned, but you're a god. You can smite down demons. Peter looked uneasy like he did the last time he visited hell. Demons resented him. It was because of how demons were judged by the gods during the Middle Ages. That was the way of the gods. It seemed that whether we liked it or not, demons and gods would never be able to see eye to eye. Though we were on good terms with the new Satan, the other demons still hated us. I smiled at him, hoping to soothe his nerves. Speaking of choices, I realized I just got ahead of myself a little bit. I thought there was only 2 left and that they were both save files, but we have 4 left. So this one will probably be a normal episode. We're going to say we want to go with him, but first we're going to encourage. You're strong, Peter. You're the leader of the gods after all.
ありがとう。お前にそう言われると勇気が湧いてくるようだ。だが、お前と離れるのは少しの間でも辛いな。
Away? What do you mean? I'll leave you here. That's what it means.
ん？悪魔界に行っている間のことだが、もしかして一緒に来てくれるのか？
Yes, I'm a member of the 12 Olympians. Besides, we're husband and wife. Jupiter and Juno, though we were present in myths, our real selves were completely different from that image. But the one thing that was accurate about those myths was our bond as husband and wife.
ありがとう、リネット。
I was expecting him to reject it.
では、夜が明けたら悪魔界へ行くとしよ
う。Oh my goodness, we're going to hell. This is going to get interesting. Yes, together.
ああ。
Okay, I'm gonna go back up. I think we can now. Before I read that. Before he buries his face in her hair. Her freshly washed hair. Okay, we're gonna say that we'll go with him. It's alright, I'll go with you. Yes, I'm a member of the 12 Olympians. Besides, we're husband and wife. Juno and Jupiter, though we were present in mist, our real selves were completely different from that image. But the one thing that was accurate about those myths was our bonded husband and wife.
ありがとう、リネット。では、夜が明けたら悪魔界へ行くとしよう。
Yes, together.
あ。
Peter hugged me and buried his face in my freshly washed hair. I heard him inhale deeply.
はあ、やはりお前の香りは落ち着くな。お前がそばにいてくれるならば、私は何でもできそうだ。
Peter kissed the top of my head, then my temples. His lips slowly moved to kiss my nose and then my cheek. Our eyes met. The earlier awkwardness was gone, replaced with the dignity of a god that had lived for thousands of years. Then we quietly kissed. That gentle kiss gradually deepened. Under the covers, we laced our fingers together. Peter's body was warm, and I wrapped my legs around him. It was so warm that it could have melted the snow outside. Our chilled bodies heated up rapidly as we moved in sync. Goodness. Outside our hotel window, I saw the merciless snow continue to fall. Okay, at least we didn't have to read too much about that. Holy crap. What? That's funny. It says holy crap. Oh, I'm happy for them. They don't have to worry about what if anymore. They get passionate, they get passionate. They spend passionate night together. It's all good. The next day, the stone grew heavier as we ventured underground. We went further below the human realm, or even the underworld. Hell was below even that. Oh my goodness. Are they gonna go as gods though? Like, I really want them to go as gods with their angel wings and everything. Demons were already prepping for hibernation due to the cold. We saw some demons that looked obviously unwell. They drifted to us obliviously, unaware that we were gods. Dang it. It felt so cold even for us. We were freezing.
寒い。
He's got a winter coat on. I didn't realize hell could be this cold. The cold was so intense that my teeth were chattering. Peter and I huddled close together for warmth.
人間界よりも冷えているようだな。やはり寒さの原因は地下にあると見て間違いないか。だがここより地下を調べるとなると人間の姿ではさすがに無理だ。これでは寒さに耐えられないからな。
Yeah, transform. Peter surveyed the area, then assumed his god form.
なんだ、神がここにいる。消されちまう。逃げるぞ。
やはりそうなるか。一応事前に連絡は入れておいたのだが。
悪い悪い。寒すぎて悪魔たちに休眠するよう言ってたらこっちは言い忘れちゃったんだ。
He looks the same even though he's Satan. Oh well, that's fine.
あら、すまない。忙しいところ
に。いや、別にいいよ。でも俺もさすがにこうも寒くちゃ夢を食うどころじゃない。暖かくなるまで冬眠させてもらうよ。でも何かあったら起こしてくれ。俺にできることなら手伝うよ。
それは心強いな。
This makes me so happy. Like, they were, being humans and stuff like that in the last couple episodes, but now they're gods doing god stuff. And I don't know, I just like it so much. I mean, you got the Lord of Gods, the Lord of Demons, friends, being friends together.
当然だろ。じゃあおやすみ。ジュピター。ジュノー神様。
Oh, Juno-sama, huh? He was very polite to her. Professor Melville, why did you call him Professor Melville? Let's call him Alan. He waved goodbye to us and flew away. With Satan and all the other demons in hibernation, it was clear that the weather was abnormal.
サタンが眠りについたか。いよいよ猶予がなさそうだな。急いで調査を進めるとしよう。
I don't know why, but it feels like that he does talk differently when he's in his Jupiter form. Even Sirius Peter talks differently than this. I like his Jupiter voice. Probably because it sounds like the villain in Pure Fury, but it's whatever. Yes. Like Jupiter, I also switched to my god form. We're free from the limitations of a human body. The cold was no longer a bother. This form is so convenient. Yeah, if you're not cold, then be in that form. In my god form, I didn't age or need food. I felt at ease. But I was attached to my human form because of my fondness for humans and their way of life. Jupiter summoned Uranus and pierced the ground. Then... Goodness, what is that? The ground split, revealing a stairway. He used his powers to create stairs that led further down.
では、行くぞ。
Okay. We proceeded down the steps. I am so looking forward to this. I don't care if it's almost been an hour. I'm going to read it all. But after a short descent, Jupiter suddenly halted. Shock spread across his face. Uh-oh. Jupiter, what's wrong?
この先からゼウスの気配を感じる。
I knew it. I knew it. Like, Zeus just can't stay out of it. I mean, he's portrayed in the opening theme song. Like, he's gonna have more than just a little tiny 5-second episode or 5-minute episode at the end of what route was that? Was it Rowell's? No, that was the one we just did. Shelby's? Maryniece. At the end of Maryniece's route. I knew he's gonna have more than just 5 minutes of Maryniece. Oh, and he was also in the prelude of this route when they were talking about what happened last time on Cupid Parasite. What's he doing? Huh? But I thought everyone got together and sealed him away.
ああ、間違いなくあの時、我々はゼウスを封印した。だから、そんなはずはないのだが。だが、私がこの気配を読み間違えるはずなどない。まさか、復活したのか。
It would revive him.
いや、そんなはずはない。だが用心して進むぞ。
Yes. We carefully continued down the steps. Using our divine powers to pave the way, we dove deeper and deeper. What's this? After we descended further, we saw something truly bizarre. There was a large rock with a peculiar shape. As we approached, I thought it looked familiar.
これは、ゼウス!
The rock? The rock is Zeus. Huh? Oh, you're right. The stone before us was the same one that had been created when the Parasite 6 successfully sealed Zeus. Wait, but I thought Zeus's stone had been buried so deep that it would never surface again.
ああ、北イロ温山に厳重保管し、バッカスが見張っていたはずだったが。
Mount Chitarion was a notable location in Greek mythology. Actaeon and Nepenthes were killed there. It was also a place where Oedipus was abandoned. It was also the mountain where Dionysus, or Bacchus, was worshipped. The people of Plataea revered the mountain as their king. I'm going to forget all of that. The 12 Olympians had decided to hide Zeus's stone within this mountain. Could it be that the landslide had caused it to end up here?
ああ、地中深くに流れるマグマにでも乗ってここまで流されてきたのだろう。しかしマントル層にまで来ていたとは。
The mantle layer.
ああ、ここはマントル層だが。
You're very far in the ground. What? Here we go. Here comes the science explanation. Isn't the mantle the outer layer of the Earth's core? We're that far down.
ああ、神の力を使えば地球の核へ行くことも可能だ。
And yet it's like conveniently hollowed out for you. So of all places, we were in the mantle. From what I could recall, the mantle was roughly 2,900 kilometers below the Earth's surface. I didn't realize we'd gone that far. Since we used our divine powers to travel, perhaps we'd traveled rapidly. And there stood Zeus's stone. Hesitantly, I reached out to touch it. Why would you touch it? Even in my god form, the stone felt chilling to the touch. What's this? Why is the stone so cold?
冷えている。まさかこれのせいで地球が冷えたのか。
Zeus's stone is freezing the earth. Zeus's stone was stuck in the earth's mantle layer. It was cold enough to instantly kill any human. I shuddered to think of what would happen if it were brought to the earth's surface. I see, so that's why it's so cold. Because Zeus's stone is stuck here, it's stealing all of the heat from the earth's core.
ああ、おそらくそうだ。そうか。それでいくら地表を温めても意味がなかったのか。内側から冷やす物質があったのでは意味もない。このように冷たいものがあったら地球の熱が奪われるのも当然だ。
Then if we remove the stone, things would go back to normal.
あ、おそらくはそうだ。早速取り除くとしよう。
I'm gonna break it and release him. Jupiter summoned Ceranos and took a swing at the stone. It didn't yield. That must be his staff then.
これではダメか。ではこうして。
I'm sorry. The sound effect. It's a staff hitting a stone, but it goes whack. I don't understand. It should have made like a clang noise, right? It sounded like he just sucker punched the stone. Let's try this again. He planted the Kronos into the ground, trying to use it as a lever to lift the stone, but still the stone didn't budge. Goodness, try kicking it. That's the answer. We're gonna try pulling it first. It's really stuck in there. Let me try pulling it. Kick it. Like a soccer ball.
ああ、気をつけて。
As Juno, my strength surpassed the average being but when I attempted to pull, it won't budge. It didn't move. No matter how hard I pulled, I couldn't do a thing.
ここへは雷も呼べぬ。寝具を使うのではなく、私も引っ張ってみるか。
Jupiter put Ceranos away and cautiously reached out to touch the stone.
チーン
Oh no, you electrocuted? Oh no. Huh? Gee, actually, I think I should go back up now. Actually, you know what? Let's go. The moment he touched it, Jupiter turned into Chi. Yeah, yell at it. Okay, let's go back up. Alright, try kicking it. It's really stuck. Maybe I could try kicking it from the side. Let me try kicking it. As Juno, my strength surpassed the average being, but when I kicked it... Sucker punch it. It won't budge. That really hurt.
「大丈夫か？怪我してないか？」
I'm fine. It stings a bit, but I'm fine. Let's try a different angle. I gave it another kick, but no luck. I couldn't do a thing.
ここへは 雷も呼べぬ。寝具を使うのではなく、私も引っ張ってみるか。
Jupiter put Keranos away and cautiously reached to touch the stone.
チーン
Huh? Chi? The moment he touched it, Jupiter turned into Chi. He sounded panicked, like he needed to get out of here quick. In desperation, Chi tugged on my arm. Oh my goodness. I didn't understand what was going on, but we quickly returned to the surface as he suggested. Oh, something happened. Since he's not turning back, is he stuck in Chi form? Oh, okay.
なんてことだ。
I was like, no, don't be stuck in Chi form. Dang it. You have like another 2 hours left of this route. Once we returned to the surface, he morphed back into Peter. I felt so much fear that I squatted in place. As I touched the stone, I tapped into Zeus's residual thought. What does that mean? I felt the bitterness and anger pouring out from the stone like a curse.
絶対に許さない。ジュピターごときに主神の座は渡さない。
I think he says something like that whenever at the very beginning of the route that Jupiter will pay. I just forgot all about him during all of this.
一番偉いのは私。一番美しいのは私。それを崇めない人間など滅んでしまえばいい。私を封印しても無駄よ。私は力を使えずとも、手足が動けずとも、人を滅ぼすことができる。証明してみせる。私を敬わない人類など意味はない。だから私が新しく人を作るの。新しい時代の幕開けよ。ニューヒューマニティ New Age and Zeus!
Oh my goodness.
これで全てが滅びる。新しく世界を作るのが楽しみだわ。これぞ真の創世記よ。
You know, I'm actually really excited about this. This feels like, okay, this kind of conflict feels natural in a route. Omar's lobster crisis did not feel natural. In fact, it was silly, and all I could do was laugh at how ridiculous it is. But this, he's a god, so he could easily do exactly what he's saying, and it's actually detrimental to society, to the whole human race.
兄上があのようなことを考えていただなんて。そのような企みを封印される一瞬に思いつくなど、なんて恐ろしい。
His last moments. Oh. Peter was wrong. Did something happen when you touched Zeus's stone? Seeing me shiver, Lynette expressed doubt and worry. She was still by my side. Her presence helped to give me courage as I tried to find the words.
大変なんだ。父。
Please calm down. You're talking like Chi right now.
すまない。取り乱しすぎてしまった。
Can you tell me what happened? What did you see when you touched the stone?
ああ、あれのゼウスの思念が流れ込んできたのだ。
Huh? Zeus's thoughts? I thought this was all from her perspective for a minute, but it makes sense. I'm like, wait, did we just... I was confused, but okay, I'm back on track now. When I repeated those words, Peter nodded, looking pale.
ああ、封印される瞬間のゼウスの記憶、そして企みだ。あれは封印に必死に抗っていた。そして封印される瞬間にとんでもない企みを思いついていたのだ。
What did he do? Peter, still a bit shaky, gazed at the ground, probably thinking about where the stone was buried.
あれは人類を滅亡させるつもりだ。 自身を復活させるために。
Wait, all of humanity? What do you mean by that?
覚えているだろう。我々が6つの愛を使い、あれを封印したことは。
Yes, I remember that. Of course I remembered. I used my Cupid's arrow to place the seal. There was no way I would forget.
人の愛がある限り、あれの封印が解けることはない。だが裏を返せば、人間がいなくなれば、ゼウスを縛る愛そのものが薄れるということだ。とはいえ封印には、神と悪魔と人の愛を使っている。だから人間がいなくなったとしても、完全に封印が解けるわけではない。
So, how's he plan on getting rid of you guys?
だが、それでも人類がいなくなれば、封印が薄れるのは確かだ。それにゼウスは気づいたのだ。だから地球を冷やしたのだろう。氷河期を作り、人類を根絶やしにして封印を薄れさせるつもりだ。封印が弱まれば、悪魔を食らうだけの力は出る。悪魔界に近いあの場所から悪魔を食らい、力を増やし、復活をするつもりだったのだろう。
Oh no, but that seems so...
だがあのゼウスならやりかね。あの時も同じように復活した。悪魔らを食らい、力を蓄えてな。
Oh. I remember demons being eaten back then. Even the gods were consumed by Zeus.
このマントル層は悪魔界に近いし、めったなことでは神が来ないからだ。潜伏し、食らうには良いロケーションというわけだ。このような作戦を封印されるあの一瞬で思いつくとは、相変わらず兄上の執念は恐ろしい。
But what do we do? We tried to move the stone, but it wouldn't budge.
だが、外さねば地球は冷え続ける一方だ。十二神の力を借りて外せないかやってみなくては。
Yes, we're going to rally the gods to do it.
それでもダメならば、悪魔の力を借りる。とにかく、やれることすべてを試すしかない。
Hope there's like a really cool CG associated with that. After that, we headed back to Celestia to call the gods together, but what?
なによこれ、全然びくともしないじゃない。
That's your idea of getting it to move? They're gonna rally the gods, but they're just gonna take turns trying to remove it, like the sword in the stone.
ミネルバったらダメね。次は私がやってみるわ。重くて持ってないわ。まずお願い。あなたの力でなんとかして。
Mars, please lift it.
任せてくれヴィーナス。このマーズ必ずやゼウスを持ち上げてみせる。なんて重さだ。まるでびくともしないではないか。
How'd you get big?
まずどいてちょうだい。ブルドーザー持ってきたわ。
How did you get a bulldozer down in hell? How? I know, right?
知恵の神ミネルヴァに不可能はないわ。あら、ブルドーザーの方が壊れちゃった。
What did you do?
ダメか。
He's got his mask on. He can't let others see his face.
では次はわしの出番だな。
Can we see him, please? I want to see him. The gods used everything they had to try and lift Zeus's stone. Dang it. But it wouldn't budge. Soon we were fresh out of ideas. We even went to hell to seek their assistance, but all the demons had already entered their hibernation. This is your idea of rallying the gods. This is pitiful. In the end, we couldn't get help from the demons. We all decided to return to Celestia to figure out our next move. That was sad. use your powers or something. Olympian conference. Dang it! I gotta keep reading. I just said that we're not gonna.
それでは十二神会議を始める。
I was just saying we're not gonna get a CG in like this last part, but there was 4 choices, but I had to keep going because I don't have a CG yet. Oh well, I said I was going to. I said I was going to go as long as it took. Probably binge read all of it tonight. Okay. The gods of the Diacostans gathered around the round table in Celestia. Mars, Venus, Minerva, Poseidon, Apollo, Vesta, Diana, Ceres, Vulcan, and Mercury. And then there was us, Jupiter and Juno.
それで一体どうする？私の腕力でもポセイドンの寝具でもあのゼウスは動かすことができなかったぞ。
壊せない、動かせないとなると地球はどんどん冷えるわよね。
ああ、このままではそう遠くない未来に氷河期が訪れ、人は死に絶えるだろう。実際、糧となる人間が氷河期でいなくなれば食事ができなくなると判断し、悪魔たちは休眠状態に入った。事態はそれほどまでに逼迫している。早急にゼウスを動かさなければ人の子らが危険だ。
それよりゼウスのことはバッカスが北イロ温山で見張ってたはずでしょ。どうして見逃しちゃったのよ。
ああ、それだがどうやら石はまだ北イロ温山にあるらしい。しかしそれは先ほど見てきたが偽物だった。
偽物？
Are you saying that Zeus broke the seal and moved?
いや、封印はされている。マントルにあったのは本物のゼウスだ。だが見張っていたのはゼウスが力を込めた石だったのだ。
あら、じゃあ最初から騙されてたってこと？
おそらくは我らを欺けるほどに精巧な石を封印されるわずかな瞬間に用意できるとは到底思えないが、かつてクロノスに飲み込まれた石、その頃の経験を生かしうまく我々の目を欺きマントルまで逃げたのだろう。
あのゼウスならそこまでやるでしょうね。
ああ、実に狡猾なゼウスらしい手口だ。
嘘でしょ。あの石からはあんなにゼウスの気配がしてたのに、この私の目さえ欺くなんて怖い神ね。
ああ、封印されるあの一瞬の隙にそれほどのことができるとは相変わらず恐ろしい神だ。
But we've got the main stone now. There's got to be a way to handle this.
対処する方法って言ってもね、マーズのこのたくましい腕でもびくともしなかったのよ。どうやって動かせばいいのかしら。
それが問題なのだ。方法を探さねばならぬが。
そんなことしてる間に人間滅びるわよね。
ああ、人の子は氷河期に耐えられるほど強くはない。
The mention of the Ice Age made me think about the one from the past. While there were various theories about human evolution, my history lessons taught me that humans were already around during the Ice Age. In my studies abroad, we learned that humans had been around for 2 million years. What happened during the last Ice Age? Rao once told me that the last Ice Age was around 10,000 years ago. Humans must have lived through it. I asked about this, but the gods looked at each other with puzzled looks on their faces.
どうだったかしら。
最終氷河期の頃？ もうそんな昔のことって覚えてないわよ。
あの頃海の底に沈んだ大陸のことは今でもよく思い出すがな。アトランティス。あそこの民は皆私を崇め立てまつっていたものだ。失って惜しいことをした。
アトランティスはポセイドンが怒って沈めた大陸ではなかったか？
もう忘れてるのよ。おじいちゃんだもの。
というかアトランティスが沈んだのは氷河期じゃなくて大洪水の時じゃなかった？ほらクランチキャニオンができた時の。
大洪水は5000年前だろう。さすがにあれと混同はせぬよ。アトランティスが沈んだのは氷河期の頃だ。クランチキャニオンができたのは大洪水の時で間違ってはいないがな。
Crunch Canyon was formed by floods. It was a lot to process. As the new Juno, I struggled to keep up with the conversation. I became painfully aware that these gods had been alive for tens of thousands of years. I wonder where 2,500 years came in from then. That was mentioned sometime at the beginning of Jupiter. I'll have to go back and watch it, I guess. The former Juno had been devoured by Zeus. That was how Zeus regained power to revive despite being sealed once. He was sealed again, but he was still messing with the earth.
そういえばあの時は偶然クランチキャニオンができたおかげで排水がうまくいったのよね。
今回は洪水ではなく氷河期に対する対策を考えたいのだが。
Pay attention, Minerva.
あら、そうだったわ。もうやーね、この年になるとつい思い出話しちゃって。
だが思い出話も悪いものではない。おかげで一つ思い出したことがある。箱舟だ。
箱舟？
おお、懐かしいな。箱舟が沈まぬよう導いたこと、よく覚えているぞ。
そう。今は人の子を生かす方法を探しているのでしょう。ならば今回も大洪水の時のように箱舟を作ればよい。
Unless you're planning on setting the ark on fire, like that's not gonna help with the cold.
箱舟か。
でもあれ大変なのよね。人間に大きな船作らせて死なないようにずっと交代で見張らなきゃいけないんでしょ？
So they didn't die.
そういえばこの異常気象で一部の富豪たちはすでに超豪華な箱舟を作ってるみたいよ。エメリッピ監督の映画みたいに。もしくはパンジョイ監督の映画みたいとも言えるかもしれないわね。列車を箱舟と見立てれば。
あの金属製の船か。この間海で見かけたな。だがあれは数年で沈むだろうな。その間にゼウスをどうにかできるとは思えん。
ああ、あの時とは違い、今回はいつまで続くかわからぬ氷河期だ。人の手のみで生き延びるのは不可能だろ
う。なら今度は人の手によるものではなく、我ら神の手で作ればよい。
神の作りし箱舟に生きとし生けるものを乗せて保護するということか。
I'm still trying to figure out how Ark is going to protect them from the cold.
確かにそうすればゼウスを対処するための時間稼ぎはできそうね。
目の前の課題を先送りにしてじっくりゼウスに取り組むというわけか。ありだな。
問題はどれだけの種を私たちが救えるかということだけれど。
I know, there's like 7 billion people in the world.
今の世ならば種子は人間たちが冷凍保存している。我らが救うべきは動物たちだけで良いだろ
う。では良き生き物たちを選別し、我らの手で救い出すとしようか。
They're gonna pick and choose who to save? You'll screen them?
すべてを救うのは無理だろう。どの種も増えすぎている。平等になるよう選ばねば。
かつての大洪水の時も箱舟に乗れたのは一部の生物のみだ。それが合理的なやり方というものだろう。
But yeah, I don't think it's going to get past Cupid and Jupiter.
だがこの地球上にあるのはどれも尊い命だ。神の独断で選ぶなど。
それでも選ばねば全ての種が死に絶える。ならばわずかでも選び救う方がマシというもの。どうせ死んでも魂は巡るのだ。姿形は変わるかもしれないが、生み栄えさせる個体だけ残せば不都合はない。
When humans died, they went through the gates of the underworld to be reborn. That was something I discovered when I became Juno. But if they changed form, they wouldn't be the same anymore. Everyone deserved to live their lives to the fullest.
確かに現実的に考えるとそれしかないか。
では、後の世のためになる人を選別するとしよ
う。That's such a... I don't like that sentence at all. Who deserve to live? Mercury activated his divine artifact. The data of many humans appeared above the round table. Huh? I see some familiar faces. I know, right? Like... Okay.
まず、この人間は論外だ。風紀を乱す。救わなくてよいだろう。
Oh, it's up there too. Yeah, Lynette's definitely not gonna let that pass. She's not gonna have that.
しかし、ルダスで繁殖能力は優れているぞ。生かしておいた方が後の世のためではないか。
種を増やすためには確かに良いかもしれぬが、まあいい。保留だ。それで次はこの男だが、こちらの男も仕事は優秀だが、コミュニケーション能力に難がある。保留にしておこう。
Probably Shelby. The guys were already deep into their selection. They're just going to discuss them one by one. 7 billion people, one by one. One was too heartbroken, so he would have been unlikely to start a family. Poor Gil. One was too obsessed. They were listing reasons like that, too obsessed. I guess Ryuki, since Rao's already been talked about. I couldn't stand this method of deciding who lived and who died. I slammed my hand on the table out of frustration. Please wait.
どうしたジュノ？この男を選ばぬことに何か異論が？
It's not about the individuals. I'm objecting to the act of selecting anyone at all.
つまり、代替案があると。
Mercury's icy stare made me shiver. All eyes were on me. I wanted to cower away. These great gods were all watching me. They were powerful enough to sink entire continents if anything angered them. I summoned my courage and spoke out. I don't think it's right for the gods to pick and choose who lives and who dies. Every life matters.
つまり、我らの決断が間違っている。
You will only know for sure after you've lost to them, just like Atlantis. I flinched as I sensed the rays surging in Poseidon's body, but Jupiter quickly stepped in.
ポセイドン、抑えろ。今は言い争う時間さえ惜しい。
だがこのポセイドン、愚弄されて黙っているような男ではないぞ。
抑えろと言っているのだ。
Jupiter's glare silenced Poseidon. He showed a sort of determination that was completely different from when he was Chi. That was enough to silence Poseidon. I know, the Lord of God says no. Then I heard someone snicker at me in a mocking way. It was Mercury.
取りこぼせる命などないか。実に結婚の神らしい慈愛の言葉だ。
I mean, everyone has their own way of thinking, including the goddess of marriage.
だがジュノー、自重してくれ。すべての命を救うなど現実的に不可能だ。ならば選ぶのは最も多くの命を救う方法だ。
But I didn't want to choose. I couldn't believe that this was the right thing to do. Before I could say that, Jupiter took my hand.
いや、それだけが救う道というわけではない。
I know, Jupiter's compassionate too.
氷河期を迎える前に地球上の生命体すべてを眠らせ、天界で保護すればいい。
Protect them in heaven?
天界で？
何を言い出すかと思えば、そんな途方もないことを。地球上の生命体すべてを？無理に決まっている。
そうよ、ジュピター。人間がどれだけ増えているか知ってるでしょ？
うん。すべての生命体を天界へ運ぶなどすれば膨大なエネルギーを消費する。神の身であっても無事ではいられないだろ
う。だができぬことではない。すべてを眠らせれば活動に割く個体ほどエネルギーを消耗せずに保護できる。救えるはずだ。
それにしたって無茶よ。
ああ、力を使いすぎたら主神であってもどうなるか。その身を保てなくなるかもしれんぞ。
だがこんな時に救えなくて何が主神だ。
No, right?
私も命の選別には反対だ。救えぬぐらいならばこの身を削ればいいだけ。それが神というもののはずだろう。
Looking around the table, Jupiter placed his hand on the table.
お前たちの力を借りると言っているわけではない。私一人でやり遂げてみせよう。だから選別はなしだ。
一人でだと？
I'm sure Lynette will help you.
代わりにお前たちにはゼウスを地球から取り除く作業をしてもらう。そちらの方が消耗するだろうからな。ゼウスの除去が最優先だ。だが生命の保護も譲れぬ。だから私が一人ですると言っているのだ。それならば文句はないだろう。
Lynette, do you have an objection?
まあ確かにゼウスの除去に全力を注ぐのは賛成よ。ゼウスが埋まってるなんて絶対嫌だもの。
I think Lynette is just thinking hard about this.
ならば決まりだ。私一人で地球上の生命すべてを救おう。
No, we will. I will do this with you.
しかし
I knew it. Juno and Jupiter, together we can move all living things to heaven. You don't have to do it alone. You should choose the method that will bring a higher chance of success. Jupiter was hesitant. I could tell from his reaction that this was going to be a difficult task. He'd made this decision knowing it may end up depleting all of his power. That was all the more reason for me to help him.
わかった。それでいいでしょう。ただし主神とはいえさすがに地球上すべての生命を救うのは無理です。マーズとヴィーナスが動物を担当してください。
ふん、それぐらいならばできるな。私の心中にも手伝わせ動物たちを救うとしよ
う。ねえ、私と一緒に絵画に描かれる動物が減ってしまっては 私も悲しいもの。みんな眠らせて天界へ連れて行くわ。
No animals left to paint? Do you mean like figuratively or actually paint them?
まずミーナス、すまない、頼んだ。
At least he's accepting their help. I would hate to see Jupiter like hurt because of all of this.
おう、
ああ、待って、人間の文明も保護しなきゃ。保存しておかないと氷河期が終わった後に復旧ができないじゃない。だから私は文明をアーカイブ化しておくわ。あの名作映画たちが消えるなんて我慢ならないもの。
頼んだ。
では決まりですね。とはいえ人類はジュピター様の想定以上に増えすぎていますよ。負担は多大なものでしょう。
That's why Lynette is helping.
無理とあれば見捨てるのが良いかと。
He's not going to do that though.
この主神ジュピターに無理なことなどあるものか。必ずや全ての生命を守り抜いてみせる。それではジュノー、共に人の子らを守り保護をするぞ。
Yes.
マーズとヴィーナスは動物らを、ミネルヴァは人々の文明を、他の神々はゼウスをこの地球から取り除くのだ。
This is what I expected when he said he's going to rally the 12 Olympians. But no, they went and kicked around a stone for a little bit.
頼んだぞ、リーコンセンテスの神々よ。
Yes. After we wrapped up the meeting, we headed back to our room in Celestia. I sat on the floor alone.
はあ。
he could finally stop being Jupiter in his room.
怖かった。
The other 12 Olympians were confident but also righteous. They had their own opinions that they thought were correct. Holding my ground while leading the conversation was extremely tough. I honestly felt like running away. But we all gathered to find a solution because we knew this problem was serious. The residual thoughts of Zeus still lingered in my ears.
だが、確かに以前から兄上は狡猾だった。私を身代わりにして浮気相手たちから逃げるぐらいには。
They'd mistake me for him and directed their anger at me. Sometimes they even scratched me that made me afraid of women. Oh. Is that why? My brother would always find a way to use me for his own selfish purposes. He'd been sealed away for 2,500 years. Okay, maybe that's where that number came from. But during that time, he'd been plotting to regain his powers. His grudge never went away. Sealed. The first time he was sealed, right?
もしかしたら、封印されていた2500年もの間に復活したらどうやって生きるかをいくつも考えていたのかもしれぬな。
He wanted to overthrow the gods and receive soul worship from all of humanity. He probably planned all of this out way back then. He was cunning. After all, he was the true almighty Zeus. Even after getting sealed for the second time, Zeus was still trying to cause chaos. He wanted to destroy the world. He needed to be stopped.
だが一体どうすればいいのだ。
I wasn't sure, but for now we'd buy time placing all of humanity into hibernation. But what if we still couldn't find a solution? What if we couldn't save humanity after all? I was so close to tears as I thought about all the possible outcomes. Then I sensed the presence of my beloved. Jupiter. I spotted Jupiter in our room and noticed him sitting on the floor with tears in his eyes. What's wrong?
あ、いや、すまない。他の神が怖くてな。腰が抜けていた。
You were scared during the meeting. It didn't seem that way.
怖いに決まっているだろう。マーキュリーもポセイドンも本気を出したら私など吹き飛ぶ。
Pulverized. Really? Jupiter had mentioned before that he had ended up in this position simply because he was Zeus's twin. He did not think he was as powerful as his brother. That was why he lacked the confidence to lead the gods.
それよりお前だ。 なぜあのようなことを言ったのだ。
Which part?
私と共に命を救うと言ったことだ。どれほど神の力を使うか分かっているのか。
So he does want to argue with her. He just didn't have the strength to do it in front of everyone. Yes, I know. I'm Juno after all. I understood how to harness divine powers. Unlike the other gods, the 12 Olympians had eternal life. Unless we were devoured like the previous Juno, we would never vanish. That was the essence of the die constants. But this divine power wasn't infinite. If it fully depleted, we'd become powerless and unable to maintain our form for some time. I was certain that Jupiter was concerned that I would deplete my powers and collapse, but the same risk applied to him too. This is a save file. I'm going to save it. The last two choices of the game. Stubborn hiccups. Erase it. Okay, we're gonna say, I want to do this together. Jupiter, I want to be there for you always. That's why I propose we do this together.
Chee.
Jupiter cried out pitifully and embraced me. His strong arms enveloped me, as if to shield me from impending danger.
わかった。では共にやろう。だが約束してくれ。決して無理はしないと。
Yes, but I need you to promise the same.
ああ、約束する。共に全ての生命を救うとしよう。また春の訪れを皆で祝えるように。
Yay! Please, I need a CG. Take it. New arc project. I knew it. As soon as it started fading, I'm like, I'm not gonna get a CG. That sound effect is so loud. Oh my goodness. Well, I have to keep going. I guess Jupiter's only gonna have 4 parts for the main story because I don't have a CG. By this, I wasn't actually. I was planning on binge reading this to the end, but I was planning on breaking it up into 2 episodes. Whatever, it's fine. By this time, most of the land on Earth had become a frozen wasteland. Oh my goodness. Time was running out. Mars and Venus had placed all animals in deep slumber and transported them to heaven. The other gods had descended to the mantle, devising a plan to influence Zeus. To conserve energy, the angels and some of the gods went into hibernation as well. The final task that remained was to put all of human life to sleep. We called it the Dew Ark Project. This was different from the Ark from the floods. This was a mission to save all life with no one left behind.
では始めるぞ。
Right. Together, Jupiter and I soared into the sky, get a view of the Earth's surface. We had to be sure to locate every single human. Jupiter took a stance, wielding his divine artifact, Ceranos. Then we joined hands. And we're gonna get an epic CG. Yes! With a powerful surge, Jupiter summoned a great gust of wind, causing my clothes and hair to flutter against the sky. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. Where's her wings? I thought she soared into the sky with him. So I have the one where she's being ascended to the throne of Juno on my screen, but I really like this one. I like Jupiter's expression here. Jupiter's eyes sparkled as a brilliant white radiance enveloped the sky. His gaze was divine as he surveyed the land below. Moments later, his eyes widened.
世界中に散らばる生命の座標を捉えた。では行くぞ。
That's really impressive. That's a lot of people. Okay. As I held our Ceranos with him, I sensed Jupiter locking in onto every single source of life, ensuring that no one person was overlooked. Hues of red, blue, orange, green, purple, each color represented a life. They vibrated, then halted. We had to protect them all. To make sure of that, we had to transport them into heaven.
眠れ、人の子らよ。そして来るのだ。常春の夢の中へ。
This gives me goosebumps. The light became even more brilliant, overwhelming my vision with pure white. Scattered like stars on the surface of the earth, each life began to move, converging into a singular point. I saw familiar faces as well as unfamiliar ones. Regardless, each one was ushered into heaven. I suddenly felt the weight of Keranos in my hand. This is what it meant to use divine powers. Oh, no, save him. I knew Jupiter felt the strain, but our task wasn't done yet. There were still souls on Earth that needed to be saved. There were still people working inside of their offices.
今日は一段と冷え込むな。
I was gonna say, this looks like the editor place that he worked at in his route. Some were still at home.
できた。次の AW コレクションはこれでいこう。
Others were inside stores or restaurants.
え、ここも今日は休業？俺まだ夕飯食べてないのに。
じゃあ俺はもう帰るよ。3点続いてしまってるんじゃ家で食べる方が早いし。
And Cupid Corp as well.
では今日のミーティングは以上で終了だ。雪が強まっているからな。地下鉄が止まる前に退社してくれ。
かしこまりました。
Inside a donut shop too.
そろそろ閉店にするよ。吹雪がひどくなってきたからな。
ええ、どうやらそれが正しき運命のようですね。
It's definitely destiny. You guys are all going to sleep. Inside that building too, people are still there. Humans shivered from the cold, looking up at the sky in confusion. The looks on their faces prompted our urgency. They had nothing to fear. We would shield them until the warmth returned. The gods would extend their protective embrace. But I started to feel myself lose consciousness. I could tell that I was nearing my limit. If I depleted all of my divine power, I could end up losing form and become a divine beast like Chi. Oh? But she said for a while. They would lose their form for a while. Does that mean that it would eventually come back? That could be fun though. That's funny. As I fueled Keranos with even more power, I felt a wave of dizziness struck me. My consciousness slipped and my fingers went numb.
ダメだ、リネット。
The sensation of Keranos in my hand faded. Only when I heard his voice did I realize that it was because he had removed it from my grip.
あと少しだ。
Oh, where'd she go? Jupiter! He decided that he would finish the task himself so that I would deplete the rest of my power. Jupiter continued to gather up the rest of the humans on the surface.
これで終わりだ。
In that moment, all of humanity was now safely in heaven and asleep. Is he okay though? Please be okay. Oh no. Well, maybe he depleted his powers, but at least he's not gone, right? Jupiter's divine form vanished and he was replaced by Chi. Chi went limp and began to plummet towards the surface. Oh no. Chi! Go save him. Oh no, there he goes, Jupiter! Practically, I chased after Chi as he fell through the sky. But as he fell through the clouds, I lost sight of Chi because he was so small, fluffy, and white in color. Uh-oh. I continued to search the sky, desperate to locate him. But no matter how hard I looked, Chi was nowhere to be found. No! No, you can't lose him! No! I don't like it. I decided to check the Earth's surface, but it had been completely covered by a fierce blizzard. I was still in my god form, so fortunately I didn't feel the cold. However, I couldn't see a thing. I had no idea where I was going. Chi! Chi, where are you? Jupiter! Peter, where are you? I called all the names I knew him by, but I still couldn't find my beloved. He was a god, the leader of the gods. He wouldn't die that easily, even though I knew that I couldn't shake off my worry. He turned into Chi because he couldn't maintain his form as Jupiter. He depleted all of his powers. What should I do? I didn't have the ability to detect the location of other gods like he did. The gods protected humans, and sometimes subtly manipulated them with reason. I'd gained those abilities when I became Juno, but I was the goddess of marriage. Even if I could detect the presence of humans, I had a hard time detecting the presence of other gods. I've been together with him all this time. I should be able to sense even a hint of his presence. Perhaps I could find him if I focused on Chi's presence. I pictured his soft and fluffy form as I continued my search. I see him. I'm like, it's not going to be long. Like, it can't be that long, right? All of a sudden, I spotted a part of Chi's tiny body partially concealed among the snowy fields. I rushed over to him as fast as I could. After running a few kilometers, I was finally able to find Chi buried beneath the snow. Aww, poor Chi. I feel so bad for him. Chi was limp and halfway buried in the snow. I called out to him and noticed his front legs twitch. Chi. Thank goodness he's alive. I know, I'm about to cry over here. Had he been entirely buried, I might not have been able to detect him. It was fortunate that, as a god, I had sharper eyesight than a human. I pulled Chi out of the snow by his front legs. He slowly opened his eyes. Chi? He slowly opened his eyes, looking at me with an unfocused gaze, and then closed them shut out of exhaustion. Chi's body was quivering. I realized that in this form he must have been freezing cold. I tried to warm him up by holding him close to my body, but there was only so much I could do in a blizzard that was this intense. I needed to take him back to Celestia right away. I attempted to use my divine artifact to teleport to Celestia, but... Huh? Uh-oh. For some reason, it didn't work. Also, I couldn't figure out which direction Celestia was from where I stood. Could it be I've depleted too much of my power? Like Jupiter's transformation into Chi, maybe I didn't have much divine energy left. Chi trembled in my arms. Anyway, I need to at least find a place to get out of the wind. As I wandered through the snow, I eventually located a cave that would provide us refuge from the wind. I settled inside with Chi still in my arms. He still hadn't woken up, but would start to whimper from time to time. Chi! Chi! Chi, are you alright? Chi! Though he responded when I said his name, he seemed to be constantly drifting in and out of consciousness. What should I do? Ideally, I'd have wanted to take him to a vet, but he wasn't technically an animal. Besides, we'd already transported all humans to heaven. He was a god, so I knew he wouldn't die, but I couldn't help but worry. I can't get back to Celestia. If I could reach the mantle, maybe I'd find the other gods, but I don't have the strength. My smartphone was useless. I couldn't contact anyone without any cell reception or battery power. I couldn't communicate with the other gods, and my divine powers were depleted. I had never been this anxious before. This is another save file. We're just going to finish all of this today, I guess. In one episode. Dig it. Okay, we're going to hug him tightly. Chi, Jupiter, please wake up. Chi. Tears sprung into my eyes as I held Chi tightly against my chest. The roar of the blizzard echoed even within the cave. After some time, Chi warmed up and began to move a little bit. Chi! Aww. Chi stretched his hind legs and opened his eyes. He looked at me with a quizzical tilt of his head. Chi? He's like, where are we? Chi, I'm so relieved you're awake. Are you okay? Are you in any pain? Chi! Chi lifted a paw to signal to me that he was fine. He looked around and then tilted his head again. Chi? Chi, Chi, Chi? Chi, can you transform back into Jupiter?
Chi.
He paused as if to think about it for a moment, and then bristled his fur in an attempt to transform into his god form.
Chi.
But nothing happened.
Chi.
I guess it's no use.
Chi. 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 Chi.
I have no idea what he's saying. Communication became a challenge when he was in this form. We'd been together for so long, so I could guess what he was trying to say, but I wasn't confident about my interpretations. So you can't transform back right now, is that right?
Chi.
Do you have any idea how long it might take you to recover?
Chi.
She shook his head from side to side. He didn't seem to know because he never expended this much energy before. Then could you point us to Celestia? I've tried, but I can't find my way back.
Chi. Chi.
He shook his head again, then he picked up a stick and started drawing something on the floor of the cave.
Chi. 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 Chi.
He seemed to be drawing a rather unique picture of Celestia and what happened to be us. Engrossed in his masterpiece, he drew an arrow and then a cross. So, does she have to do something with her bow and arrow? Does she have to shoot something? I think that little tiny drawing is him. That little tiny Chi drawing. I didn't fully understand what it meant, but I pieced together what I could. You mean, you can't use your divine artifact until your strength recovers, so we can't go back.
Chi!
That was a very elaborate drawing for that. Oh, that's what...
Chi! 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 Chi!
His vocalizations made me believe that he wished we were still in Celestia. Overwhelmed by emotions, I drew him into an embrace. But if I hadn't gone to look for you, Chi, you might have frozen to death.
Chi! Chi! Chi!
Chi let out a sigh and buried his face in my chest. He always did something cute like that when he wanted my attention. I was relieved that I found him. Wolves, oh no. I wasn't sure how much time had passed. At some point, we drifted off to sleep, only to be jolted awake by a strange noise. Chi, was that you?
Chi?
Chi had been sleeping too. He gazed at me with a drowsy expression and shook his head to tell me it wasn't him. I looked up to see what it was. Chi and I screamed at the same time when we saw a bear standing in the middle of the cave. I'm like, it sounded like a dog, but okay.
Chi!
Oh my goodness. Why is there a bear here? It's probably his cave. For some reason, Angry Bear stood before us. Had this bear been hibernating in this cave? If so, we've disturbed its slumber. I was under the impression that all the animals had been taken to heaven. Oh, well, they missed one. Mom and Dad said they'd take care of all the animals. But knowing how careless they could be sometimes, it was possible that they'd missed a few. Mom and Dad are always like this.
Chi! Chi! Chi!
I'm sorry. It sounds like someone's upset stomach instead of a bear. Or maybe a zombie. Wait, it can see us. Why? Humans and animals weren't supposed to be able to perceive gods, yet the bear in front of us was looking at us like we were its prey.
Chi! 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 Chi!
She suggested that it was due to the bear's sharp instincts. How do you know? You can't communicate with them. It was true that wild animals had sharp instincts, and there had been times in the past that I had been detected because of it. But this is the worst possible timing. Chi, let's run.
Chi!
Oh my goodness. Together we dashed out of the cave to get away from the bear. However, the blizzard outside was so fierce that we couldn't move another step. Returning to the cave wasn't an option either, with the bear blocking the way. I heard that bears were always hungry when they came out of hibernation. It had no intention of letting us go. The bear charged towards us, determined to eat us for breakfast. When I saw its sharp claws, my knees started to shake. Even though we couldn't be seen in god form, we were still physically there, just invisible. I recalled when food got stuck on Chi's face. Like that time with the cupcake, if only it was just that. I was wondering what would happen if the bear struck us with its claws. In the myths, God could still get hurt.
Chi!
My knees buckled out of fear, causing Chi to leap from my arms. He floated before me and confronted the bear with a growl. I'm like, when I heard him say that, I'm like, he is going to protect her, I just knew it. You can like lightning bolt him, can't you? Yeah, see? With his fur standing on end, Chi's fierce growl caused the bear to stop in its tracks. Chi and the bear continued to stare each other down. I could tell that Chi was charging up energy like when he was trying to transform.
Chi!
Chi, you can do it! Chi charged his energy, perhaps trying to turn its Jupiter.
Chi!
Yet something unusual happened. Chi didn't turn into Jupiter, but an entirely different creature.
Chi?
What? What the heck? So close. What did he turn into? Chi's sudden transformation caught the bear off guard. It slowly backed away after seeing Chi's new look. Chi caught onto the bear's caution and with newfound confidence lowered his stance and growled aggressively.
Chi.
I want to see this new form. I want to see it. The bear continued to retreat, sensing an advantage. Chi growled, intensified.
Chi.
Suddenly, Chi morphed into the form of a wolf, protecting me from the bear with a threatening display of teeth. Oh my goodness. Chi's growls became even more fierce, finally causing the bear to shrink away. This stare down continued for a while. Eventually, it was the bear that was the first to give up. The bear turned around and ran in the opposite direction. As we watched the bear disappear into the blizzard, a wave of relief washed over me. That was too close. I genuinely thought that the bear was going to eat me. But Chi had protected me in that strange new form of his.
Chi
had turned into a creature that resembled a wolf. He snorted confidently. Thanks, Chi.
Chi.
He trotted over to me with newfound weight in his step and began to lick my face affectionately. Now, Chi was too big for me to carry. Though I felt a little sad about that, he was much more dependable in my eyes. We returned to the cave where I finally took a moment to observe Chi's new wolf form.
Chi.
He raised his head as if to flaunt how majestic he looked. But even though his voice had a deeper tone, he still only knew how to say Chi. Even in your new form, you can't talk like a human, huh?
Chi. Chi.
I made that comment without thinking, and it had clearly disheartened him. I want to make a comment before I forget. So I believe that this is the form that he's going to be in the spicy ending. So if you are sensitive to animal, there's going to be a scene with him as an animal. It says anthropomorphic, so animal-like. So maybe not entirely wolf, but like a hybrid wolf form. So just letting you know that this will probably be in the spicy ending. I'll also make a comment reminder at the beginning as well if you don't want to watch something like that. It's going to have a CG and it's voice acted is what it said. So yeah, it includes voice acting. So special sound effects. It was sad that I couldn't have a conversation with him, but I still thought his new form made him more dependable. To reassure him, I hugged Chi as hard as I could. But you look really cool right now. Thanks for saving me back there, Chi.
Chi.
He responded with joy and rubbed his cheek against mine. His fur was much thicker than before, but it gave me a sense of comfort. That tickles.
Chi, chi, chi.
He snorted and licked my cheek. That rough tongue hurt a little, but it felt good at the same time. As I wrapped my arms around him, I felt protected by the sheer size of his body. He used to fit perfectly in my hands, but now he was the size of an exceptionally large dog breed. I could no longer carry him around. It's still Chi. He's grown so much. Jupiter, Peter, Chi, and now this new form of Chi. He had many forms, as did his brother Zeus, according to the myths. Zeus could even turn himself into golden rain. Goodness. I was glad that Jupiter did not turn into rain. I was thankful that we could at least somewhat communicate. Hey, Jupiter, do you know how long it will take for you to recover enough to return to your original form?
Chi, chi, chi.
Chi seemed lost in thought. I still couldn't understand him, but from the looks of it, it would be a while. I gave up on talking to Chi and thought about the few years I had spent so far as Juno. Humans' faith in the gods was the source of our strength. Once I realized that, I understood why Dad had been so proud of the era he had been fervently worshipped by the humans. But now humans are in hibernation. In that case, we had to allow ourselves time to recover naturally. Without humans to supply our energy, we need to eat, sleep, and rest. The gods subsided on the surface of prayers, so without them, we had to replenish our powers through the old-fashioned way. Let's go look for food. I'm sure we'll find something to eat.
Chi, chi, chi.
In the middle of a blizzard. He responded with a joyful nod and a snort.
Chi, chi.
Chi wagged his tail to signal that there was something nearby. Although he looked a little like a wolf, he acted more like a dog. But I'm glad that there's still food around. We had only just put the humans into hibernation, so there had to be food somewhere. In this blizzard, anything sounded good. We'll go search when the blizzard eases up a bit.
Chi.
Chi and I patiently waited for the blizzard to ease up before venturing out to look for food.
Chi. Chi, chi.
It says Chi 2. I just realized that. Chi number 2. Chi sniffed around for food and began to dig into the snow. It seemed like he found something. We dug that spot together and unearthed a cooler, presumably from someone's camping trip.
Chi.
Chi expressed joy as he skillfully opened the lid of the cooler with its teeth. Oh my goodness. Inside we found sausages, beer, and various other food items.
Chi.
Yay! We silently thanked the owner of the cooler as we took it with us. Then we explored the area around the cave in search for more food. We discovered oysters, probably intended for a barbecue. We also found donuts from a shop that had been buried by the blizzard. Where are you? Like, there's a cave. Like, the cave is not in a city, but it sounds like you're just like rummaging around like a street and finding oysters and donuts. It's like they're at a campground or something. Then we found natto, frozen burgers, and so much more. I don't understand. We found so much near a cave.
Gee.
With so much food, we'd be able to regain our powers in no time. We can always bury anything that we don't eat in the snow outside. Why would you bury it? Suddenly I heard the sound of heavy footsteps in the distance.
Gee.
Is it a bear? We turned to identify the source and froze. Oh my goodness, it's a mammoth. Through the blizzard, we saw a looming shape that resembled an elephant, but that wasn't an elephant. At least I didn't think so.
Chi 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 chi.
I thought I understood what she was trying to say. She was suggesting that this creature had revived from the permafrost. Revived? Oh my goodness. But how can that be? The Earth is still frozen. As long as Zeus was still in the mantle, the future of the Earth remained unpredictable. The fact that mammals were roaming the Earth underscored the gravity of our situation.
Gee.
I wondered what the other gods of the Dicassistants were up to. Had they made progress on their plans to remove Zeus from the mantle? Regardless, the blizzard showed no signs of letting up. In my god form, I still could not perceive the cold, so I didn't know how much the temperature had dropped, but it seemed colder. I hope I can get my powers back soon.
Gee.
We decided to go look for more food. As we continued our search, we found more than enough. To celebrate our finds, we held a small feast for the two of us back at the cave. It was a feast to regain our divine powers, a time for a festival. Oh my goodness. Let's eat. Oh my god, what the heck is that? It's a burger tower. We took the fire starter from our stash of findings and started a small fire. Then we started to thaw the food that was frozen solid. After the burger meat thawed, we shared it and paired our meal with some alcohol. It's delicious.
Gee.
She happily scarfed down some sausages while wagging his tail. You seem to be enjoying that.
Gee.
I have some stories that I play on my phone. Some of them are like wolf hybrids, like you get like werewolves, you can turn into wolves and stuff. And I have fun playing like wolf hybrids. I like it's my character with like another character, and I like making them turn into a wolf randomly. Like it's just a story. You just write out what you want to do. I like making mine turn into wolves randomly and show affection by licking and wagging tails and stuff like that. It's really funny to see what the AI generates in response to you. It's actually pretty entertaining. Most of them like it, and they like to pet your ears because it's soft and fluffy. As we dined together, we felt our divine powers slowly returning. I actually felt my powers beginning to come back. However, it still wasn't enough for us to return to Celestia, so we continued to eat. Guys, you're going to get fat. That was how we spent our days in the cave. Days? Dang, how long is it? We ate, went out to search for more food. When we ran out, once we found a good amount, we retreated back to the cave to eat again and rest. We had gotten better at navigating the blizzard and finding food in unusual places. We ate and slept. Slowly but surely, our powers were returning. From this experience, we also learned that as a god, I couldn't gain any weight regardless of how much I ate. Oh, that's good. When I took human form, I needed to eat to sustain myself. That was why I ate during my studies abroad in the human realm. But consuming food in my god form helped to restore my powers. Food had a different purpose for the gods than for humans. That must have been why humans had made offerings of food and sacrifices to the gods throughout history. The gods had accepted and consumed those offerings. She was also enjoying his food every single day. It's tasty, isn't it?
Gee.
Like me, Chi's appearance remained unchanged regardless of how much he ate. I wondered if that was a good thing. He still couldn't speak anything other than Chi, and he showed no signs of turning back into Jupiter. But seeing his contentment, even in this situation, made me realize that his form wasn't that important. Regardless of his form, he was still my beloved husband.
Gee.
Are you purring or are you growling? She wagged his tail energetically to show his appreciation for the food. After our meal, he affectionately nuzzled my shoulder.
Gee.
Good boy. I scratched underneath Chi's muzzle as he squinted with bliss.
Gee.
Jupiter, you always want my attention. He probably felt like he couldn't beg for my attention while in human form. As a human, he was much more reserved. In his god form, unthinkable. It was impossible for him to act spoiled since he had a name to uphold as leader of the gods. But in this form, all those things didn't matter. In the form of an animal, he sought my attention as if it were part of his natural instincts. In this form, he could finally express emotions that he couldn't otherwise. I patted Chi's head to my heart's content. Before he could turn back into Jupiter, I wanted to savor the moment. Good boy, good boy.
Chi, chi, chi.
I patted him a bit harder, and Chi seemed to be even happier. Patted him harder. Pat, pat, pat. He wagged his tail so wildly that I thought it would fall off. Chi went to lick me all over my face. Come on, that tickles.
Chi, chi.
Oh. Suddenly, Chi leapt onto me, causing both of us to tumble backwards to the ground. We looked at each other rather blankly. It seemed he hadn't realized how much heavier he'd become since transforming into a wolf.
Chi?
Question mark. I know that Jupiter craves her attention like this, but I don't know. I don't know why you can't ask for it in human form either. I mean, yeah, you can't lick her face and stuff. That would be weird, but I'm gonna start thinking of Chi as a werewolf, where he performs his animal form over his human form. Oh, come on. I was having fun. I hoped he'd regain his powers soon. While I yearned to be back in Celestia, I felt like it'd be a waste to not enjoy this moment. I still hoped that he would turn back into his original form soon. I wanted to talk to him, laugh with him, and kiss him. There was comfort in his fairy touch, but I yearned for the familiarity of his usual embrace. I felt a little sad as I buried my face in Chi's fur. We're gonna get to see him. Dang it. Oh, why is this not the ending yet? Oh my goodness, it's not the ending. I have a feeling that this is not going to give a CG, and I don't want to record it by itself if it's not. Because there's no more choices left. This is not an ending at all. So my afterthoughts is going to be concluded after recording something that is not in this video, because I kept recording thinking it was the last one, and it wasn't. It had a CG, a not very PG-13 CG, so it's going to be a thumbnail, but it's going to be censored in a way. I mean, okay, it's definitely PG-13, but it's not something I'm comfortable putting on YouTube, so it's going to be it's going to have text over it. But anyway, besides that, so I'm trying to think back to what I've read that's not the episode that I just got done with. So they're stuck in the cave. They're stuck in the cave is where I left off, I think, on the last episode. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about the wolf form. But I do like how the conflict is being resolved. It seems, yeah, it involves gods, it involves whisking 7 billion people away to heaven and all the animals and stuff too, which seems unrealistic, but it's done by gods. So it seems more realistic than, say, trying to give everyone a lobster curse. So inflict everyone with a lobster curse, so when they eat lobsters, they transform. That was kind of ridiculous, but it's whatever. But rallying together all the gods to stop Zeus, this is a cool ending. This is an engaging conflict, and I'm glad that there's at least a conflict like this that is not ridiculous. That is actually could be okay. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but this one actually feels like a real crisis. Sure, Shelby losing his company to Omar is pretty detrimental too, but this crisis, I don't know when I started recording this. I don't know when Zeus was discovered. I feel like it was about an hour and a half into the video is when they discovered Zeus. I'll have to go back and double check that, but so I've been recording for 3 hours now, and so I'm cutting off the last 45 minutes of this episode to put into the next one. And the conflict's not resolved, and there's still another section left. and it's not an ending. There's no choices in it. So, but I can't put it in here. I don't want to make this a 4-hour video. So I don't know. I think I want to keep my afterthoughts kind of short because I've tried several times to convey thoughts and it just doesn't. It comes out long-winded and kind of boring and very opinionated, I guess. So I'm just gonna stop the episode there. And if you guys enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.